Welcome back, guys. Unranked podcast here for another week. Got myself Grant. We also have Eli. We have a special guest on today. One of my good buddies, Cam Burns. I'm gonna have him come in, and thought it'd be a good opportunity for him to chat about a couple of different sports topics. He's a big Georgia Bulldogs fan, so we'll kind of kick it off with that. Georgia football, I should say. Talk a little bit about Michigan State basketball, college basketball right around the season. So excited about getting that rolling. And he's also going to talk about his level up training that he has going on. So yeah, kind of kick things off. Yeah, Cam, I know you probably excited. It's probably a pretty big season for you guys down there in Georgia. It's probably the first time you really see a number one team that's not Bama in a good little minute. So I just wanted to kind of gauge and kind of get your thoughts on how the season's been so far, and what you think about it going forward.
Facts. Well, first I want to say I appreciate you guys having me on the Unranked podcast. This is awesome. Love what you guys are doing. Just super excited to be a part of it. But get into them dogs, man. Them dogs. So Georgia, it's been a great year, obviously. 8-0. Yeah. Number one ranked. But I've had some frustrations, man. I will say I've had some frustrations and I have my doubts. But this is a very good team defensively, I would say. Defensively, by far best in the country. Like, they're in the SEC playing powerhouse offices every week. And the fact that what they're doing to these defenses or these offenses is truly amazing, dude. Like, we got some athletes on that defense end. But Jordan Davis, big number 99. Yeah. That boy was 6'6".
Oh, lineman,
bro. 6'6", 340. Come on,
he can move though,
bro. He's nice. So just having him at our core, I'm sure it makes our DBs and safeties very happy, because they understand, like, hey, I only got to guard them for a good 3-4 seconds. You feel me? So otherwise they're gonna get pressure. So I kind of, like I said, my doubts about it, a little bit more of I think defensively and offensively, I think our weakest point in our defense would be our DBs, but even then they're still studs. But offensively, man, they give me fits.
Why did they give you fits? What are they doing?
Man, first of all, the quarterback situation. Stetson Bennett, don't get me wrong, like, hometown guy, we love him. But, like, he's 5'9", dude. In the back pocket, can't really air it out. And this is Georgia's my biggest pet peeve about Georgia in general, is the fact, like, we can't score the ball, man. Like, luckily our defense bails us out, but we just can't score the ball consistently. So,
it's interesting because, like, I feel like I've seen, like, 3 different quarterbacks from Georgia, like, the last couple of years. They had that transfer from USC, JT Daniels, and I thought he was the guy. He ended up getting, like, hurt, right?
He should be the guy. And so they were going back and forth, like, they were, like, sharing snaps for the most part. And then finally we chose JT Daniels, and he got hurt that game. And then Stetson Bennett came back and had a great game. And so now it's, like, his spot. And so it's like, man, this back and forth. I mean, we see it with, unfortunately, like, Michigan fans. Like, y'all have the same problem in Ann Arbor right now, right? And like, your boy J.J. McCarthy comes in here and coughs it up, man. Like, I hate to say it, I didn't want to go there, but
I'm laughing and not crying.
That's right. It's too early.
Man, I feel it, and I feel y'all pain. I just don't want that to be us, with us, like, sharing snaps and stuff. So Kirby's done a good job, though, of at least sticking to who he's going to stick to, at least for that game, at least the past couple of games. So hopefully.
I'm not going to call it an easy schedule just because it's the SEC, but y'all ain't got to see Bama until a championship game. So everything go well the next few weeks.
Absolutely.
That's really going to be, obviously, the playoff, going to be around the corner. I mean, how do you feel that Bama matchup? I mean, I probably watched Bama play more than Georgia and I mean, they're Bama, you know what I'm saying? But, like,
Mhm.
they don't – I look at Georgia and I'm like, I mean, these dudes only give up, like, 7 touchdowns all year. Like, they look
Yeah.
for real. You know, Bama kind of be playing around a little bit, you know what I mean? Just, you know, so what do you think as far as, like, going forward? How do you like your chances against them if that matchup does indeed happen?
That matchup scares me. It terrifies me, dude. Bama's defense is good enough for us to not to score.
Yeah.
And their offense is good enough to score a little bit more than we can score. So, man, they just have way too many weapons. You see how every Bama team, how explosive they are, and the plays that they make and the shots that they take down the field is like, I think that goes against what Georgia defense does. I mean, I think it pays into Bama's favor. So that matchup scares me, not gonna lie. I do think our defense that we're gonna hold our own. If the game's above, if we keep Bama under 35, I think we win. Then period. Like, I think we win. If we can keep them under 35, we win. But if once they hit 42, we just don't have enough, man.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna check out Georgia's schedule now. I feel like it should be.
I think I looked, and I think it was Missouri next. I think he played Missouri this weekend, and it looked pretty favorable when I looked earlier. You know, I mean, as favorable as it can get. You know, as far as it wasn't no like major, you know, top 10, top 20 opponents that you got right away. So no, it's definitely is interesting. And you brought up Jordan Davis. I watched his highlight tape earlier, a little like 3 minute on YouTube. Man, dude's a beast.
Animal.
Scary.
He kind of reminded me of like a Sue, like an Ndamukong Suh when he was at Nebraska. You know, just like much bigger, much faster than everybody, and
can move.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got a guy like that in the middle that's taking up like 2 to 3 linemen every play. Like that's
every
the job easy.
Every play. And
are you a Kirby Smart fan?
He's all right, man. I wouldn't say I'm a diehard Kirby fan. I mean, my journey to being a Georgia fan has been it's a little different, right? I honestly, obviously, being from Michigan, living in Michigan, I've always rocked with like State. I've always rocked with, you know, the Lions, the Pistons, and all that stuff. And I was like, it was probably about 10 years ago. I was like, you know what, man? I'm tired of like losing. Like, we can't win. We're not playing for anything ever. I can never cheer for anyone. And so I was like, all right, I need somebody in the SEC. And then I was like, oh, well, all right. It's like my dad's family is from Mississippi. So I'm like, man, we got Mississippi State, Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I could rock with both of them. I was like, but I also got family in Georgia. I was like, yeah. And I remember I came across some pictures of me wearing a Georgia hoodie when I was little. I said, you know what? That's in me. Like you feel me? I got to roll with them. And then, so obviously after getting after losing multiple years and being a Georgia fan to Bama and stuff. So that's been, you know, I at least had something to cheer for, man. And then
I will say, like, before they had Kirby Smart, who they had, Mark Richt, they kind of reminded me of Michigan in a way, just because, like, they were just good enough. You know, they're a little bit better than Michigan, like, in the past, because they made it to, like, the conference championship, you know, and, like, made it to the playoff. I think once since they've been doing the playoff. But, like, for the longest, it was always, like, they had trouble, like, getting over that hump. You know, they'd be 6-0, 7-0, and then they run to that buzzsaw, you know, in Tuscaloosa.
Oh, yeah.
And then now kind of like, then the wheels will kind of fall off.
The 8 before.
Yeah. And then, and that's just like how it is with Harbaugh. Like, you know, we come in all hot. You know, me and Eli talk about it a lot. Like, I wasn't really excited until last week. And we all saw what happened. You know, obviously, a lot of factors kind of came into what happened with that loss. But, you know, in the end, it's a loss to loss. And Harbaugh still ain't doing what he's, you know, was brought here to do.
Right.
But yeah, it kind of seemed like Kirby Smart, like, kind of might be taking him over the hump. And part of me is like, you know, I'm kind of seeing and thinking like, who could be potentially that coach from Michigan to kind of get them over the hump too.
Yeah, man, it's a good pickup there, man. I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm just fingers crossed, man, that we can win this SEC chip first, and then hopefully that'll probably eliminate Bama out of the top 4. So we don't got to worry about them. And then I like our chances because I don't think any other team has the firepower to beat them dogs, man. I just don't see it.
I rest assure you, too, like, I respect Bama. I think everybody does. But y'all be doing people a lot of favors. I respect them, but I can't, like, see them in the playoff every year. They get kind of old. So, like, if y'all do beat them, this will give opportunity for, like, a Cincinnati, Oregon, State might, end up sticking in there.
We'll see.
There's a lot of schools that are kind of like at top 10 right now that you don't normally see. Because there's some schools like Clemson. Clemson used to be up there for a minute.
I could definitely see Georgia beating the brakes off of State.
Oh yeah, I can see that too.
I don't see them losing.
Mm-mm.
I don't. I mean, even like you said, they got a problem scoring. I watched that Florida game, a little bit of it. It was 3-0 in like the first quarter, and they caused like 2-3 turnovers in the second quarter, and they were up like 24-zip at half.
Hey, you hear that? They caused 2-3 turnovers. That's their defense, bro. I'm telling you.
That's how it is sometimes.
Yeah, but let a team protect the ball, man. We have a team. We struggle. And we scored 34 the rest of that game.
Yeah.
We only had 34, 10 points in that whole second half. So
we got a 3-and-outs after that. But I mean, when you got a defense that can flip the field like that, I mean, your offense, they turn around, they got the ball in the red zone. It's like you're getting a field goal at minimum.
True.
And the momentum be shifting to where, like, teams be, they turn the ball over on their own side of the field, already a little distraught, start getting down, start getting their feelings. And then Georgia kind of came in and start to just, put the nail in the coffin early. So as long as y'all keep doing that, keep a nail, just kind of jumping on teams early and kind of just taking the will from them, taking the confidence, away from the other team, I think I'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll see, man. Like I said, I like our chances outside of Bama for the most part, but
yeah. In due time, it's gonna be a good game. I'm looking forward to that one for sure.
Oh yeah, we might have to get together and watch that one.
I might have to be sitting right next to you, just like
you see the frustration. I told you, Gray. I told you.
Right. Yeah, we might definitely have to set that up. Go watch that game. So that would be a good one for sure.
I'm down.
Yeah, we're gonna little transition here. College basketball is back. I mean, I love college basketball. I think we all do.
Yes, sir.
State, and I know that's your team that you root for, college basketball.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I want to kind of kick it back to you. What do you think? Like, what are their chances as far as this year? Last year, I won't say that. Like, I don't know what happened last year. Last year was kind of weird for them.
We had a bad year last year.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have some similar struggles this year. Early, I think we'll be able to fix it by the time it's March. But it's gonna be an interesting year. Obviously, being a basketball-minded guy and watching a lot of basketball, man. I'm just a basketball fan. Only reason why I like state hoops is because of Izzo. I think every kid who grew up in the area always wanted to play for Izzo, and that being the dream of theirs. But I'm guessing the kids nowadays probably want Juwan Howard, all right? So, but yeah, man, I think State's gonna be tough defensively. They're super long. They play hard. I think this is a team that is gonna remind me a lot of like some of our older teams, like with Miles Bridges. Like, we don't have as good of a player as Miles Bridges on a court, but we are very team oriented. Miles Bridges was a guy who bought into the system, who was just extreme talent, right? And right now we don't Cassius Winston, extreme talent, but he bought into the system. So I think we have guys who are going to buy into the system this year, may not have that as extreme talent. It's like Greg Brown. He's probably our best player. He's athletic. He has the frame for it. Super bouncy. So I think he would do. He's gonna have a good year. Christie's gonna have a good year, I think. But we just don't have that go-to guy. And I think when it comes to March, we can win a couple games.
Yeah.
And I could see us being an elite 8 type team, and just running out of energy just because we just don't have that player to go get you a bucket, man. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's where we're lacking. Point guard too. I think we just need someone to control the game. I mean, us losing Winston 2 years ago it was hard, and
Yeah.
you seen how easy he made things look at State. So
He's like Izzo on the floor.
yeah, yeah,
Calmer Izzo on the floor. Much calmer.
yeah. So that's yeah. I'm excited to see it, man. I really am. So.
Yeah. You I agree with a lot of that. I feel like, what do you think as far as some of the kids that have been recruited? I mean, are these guys, I see that you're pretty high ranked, and usually that means that, it might be one and done.
Mm-hmm.
I think college basketball is kind of molded to where you need to, in order to be competitive, you kind of need like, one and dones to kind of be able to compete with some of them blue bloods.
Right.
How are these guys kind of looking, from that perspective?
I don't think we have a one and done guy, to be honest. Yeah, highly scouted kids, but their play style isn't enough, right? To be a one and done. Like, yeah, there's kids that might be able to get drafted, but most of those kids want to go first round. If you're gonna be one and done kid, you're not gonna go 1 year and be drafted in the second round. Like, you need a for sure option. I'm gonna be top lottery pick. And I think that's where you see more of the one and done stuff. And I think now more than anything, we're gonna see a shift at the college basketball level and college sports in general, with kids being able to make money off jersey sales and things along those lines. Why not stay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not worried about money anymore. I'm that guy on campus. I won a national championship. Like, kids are gonna stick around a little bit more, I think, because money won't be an issue, and they got their whole lives to kind of perform that professional dream now, and start running colleges like a business, man. Like, let pay them kids. They'll stick. So I think we're gonna see a shift everywhere.
I think recently the success comes from kind of a mix of both, where you have the 3 or 4 year guys on the squad and the one and done years sprinkled in. I think that's kind of when you usually see a championship team when they kind of have a good mix on there. But I think State's had that, and maybe not the one and dones, but State has had like you said, special talents in the past, like Cassius Winston and even Denzel Valentine or somebody along those lines, just a phenomenal player. And so, I also think they always find a way to, come up with one. So, I mean, there's no telling who's on that roster that could develop into one.
Right.
Yeah. And back to the money, I think that's going to definitely just I think it's going to affect a lot of things. And we're just beginning to see that. But, it's no telling how that exactly will play out. So.
Yeah.
What I like about the NIL, I mean, there's so many players that come to mind from like back in the day. Here for that, like Adam Morrison, and I name these guys because they weren't like good college players at all. Or sorry, NBA players, excuse me. Right. They're great college players, but like it's going to kind of open up the door for a lot of like players like them to be able to make money off their name in college, kind of just be, they're stars, but now it's like they can actually like profit off of like what they were in college, opposed to going to the league and it's not working out or not making it to the league and things along those lines. And
I think real quick, I think it'll probably be bigger impact in college basketball, because usually like basketball players just in general become stars more than football players or any other sport. Just they're more visible, they're more out there. So I think, like you said, you name a couple of those college players. I think the college basketball players will really be able to capitalize on it even more so than any other sport.
Absolutely. You think Tom Izzo is starting to – I don't think this – I think Tom Izzo is starting to lose a little bit. And I'll give you this is what I think. I think kids nowadays, like prime example, I was talking with my buddies about Rocket Watts last year. We didn't want to play point guard.
Right.
Like, I'll ask you, like, if your coach, you played 2, and your coach is like, go play the 1, what would you say?
Oh man. So I played the 1, and then my coach said go play the 2. So you just kind of do it. It's like he sees something that you might not understand. Or maybe he just wants you out on the floor. Like maybe he sees that, okay, I'm loaded at this 2 position. What can I do to make a change? So it's the reason why. Like I know for a fact Izzo's just not making blind movements. Oh yeah, we're just gonna have him play the 1 now. Like I know for a fact that's not the case. It's a reason why he sees something that makes him want to develop him at that area. I mean, might even give him a chance to. Obviously, if you have league dreams or whatnot, like you may be a 2 in college, but when you're making that leap, you're probably gonna be a 1. So it's like I want you at the 1 to prep for that, right? So I mean, there's a lot of times we had a three-time All-American on our team at Davenport, and he played the 2, but our coach was like, hey, we want to get you reps at the 1 just so that if you want a shot, you can be at that 6'4", 6'5" point guard. Like how appealing that looks, the eye test to that. Like I think there's more to it. And in regards to Izzo, man, like I said, I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of what he does. I think it's more these younger generations not respect him as much, so.
You hit it right on the head. That's why I asked you that, because I just want to see what your reaction was. Because, like, the fact that he, like, said no, I was just like, I don't know. That just kind of, like, blew my mind, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, the way the NBA is now, and even, like, college, like, it's kind of like positionless.
Right.
It's like your best 5 out there, and, the biggest guy might be he might be at the 5. He might be, like, 6'7", 6'8", but he, like, a stretch 4.
Right.
Out there.
Right.
And I'm just thinking, that was just such a big deal for them last year because they had some injuries and whatnot. And that kind of go back to what I was saying before, though, is like everybody's kind of like been getting on Izzo, I feel, the last couple of years just because, kids are responding to his coaching style.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I feel like it's more like the kids nowadays. So yeah, I mean, do you think the clock is running out for Izzo? He is a little long in the tooth. He is, to get in his 60s, probably close to his 70s now. I don't know his exact age, but you always kind of hear like whispers of like, who might come in after him, things along those lines. Like, what are your thoughts on that? How much longer do you think he has?
Oh man, the game is changing, and I do think he will. I can see him leaving the next couple of years, man.
Really?
I can. I think he has. I think he has his job as long as he wants it. But the stress that's probably been added to him these past 2-3 years with all the legal cases that's been happening at Michigan State, and it's just a lot. And I can see how that could pay a large toll on a guy. Bring up questions. Is this still for me? And that's even outside of basketball, right? Like we're not even talking about basketball there, and now you're getting you're not getting the same respect that you once got. You got Juwan Howard now at Michigan that's doing his thing, like bringing a whole new style of coaching, and kids are eating it up. So if you're a president at Michigan State, you're saying, is Tom Izzo still doing that for us, right? Yeah, you see what Mel Tucker is doing for football. The Tuck is coming t-shirts, like he's bringing a new aura, a new genre to the university. So, and I don't think Izzo is doing anything new, right? To keep that up. So I can see him leaving in the next couple of years. I hope not. But I think it's a 50-50 chance, to be honest. But he has his job until he's ready to go. So that's all going to be on him.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. I think he's obviously been there since mid '90s, early '90s. So he's been at the running the show for quite a while here, and so I kind of agree with you. It's kind of he could step down whenever he wants, but I do think maybe he wants that one more run, one more Final Four banner, one more, just go for it one more time. I entirely can see that, and it's entirely possible. Right move or two, or right situation, and things pop off. And but definitely possible. He's a phenomenal coach, and it's just interesting to see everything play out. And like you said, but the Tuck is coming. He just brings a new juice, and it rejuvenates the fan base. And I think Coach K, this might be his last year, or did he step?
Last year.
Yeah, last year. Yeah. So
Williams.
Yep.
He's definitely like in
that era of coaches are starting to retire.
Yeah. And that's he's getting old, because like you got Penny Hardaway down in Memphis, Ron Howard at Michigan, obviously Jerry Stackhouse at like Vanderbilt. These are guys that grew up watching play. You know what I'm saying? So like it's kind of crazy to see. Like, I mean, when I saw Coach K was like when he was about to be done after last year, I was like, what?
Yeah, it's
then like
that one hurts a little bit,
man, because these are the guys. That's all I remember growing up was just like watching them.
That was
that
was Final Four. Duke, North Carolina. That it always got that. Saturday night at like 8:00 or Thursday night at 9. We trying to stay up and watch the whole game.
Need it.
But now that's just kind of it's kind of crazy. And I mean, I think I agree with you. I feel like Izzo, he really gonna go all on his terms. And I do feel like I think you're right. He probably got like 2 or 3 more years.
Mm-hmm.
I hope so, because I think I need I think Michigan. I think we're a basketball school now, so.
Man, I might have to apply for that position, man. I'm trying to be the next Izzo around here.
Right. Yeah, I think I love what Howard's been doing, man. I mean, like you said, I mean, you hit on the head. Like he going to kids' home. They see somebody else playing for Fab Five back in the day. They gonna say no to him? No.
Nah, you can't do that.
She got the Jordan brand.
20-year vet.
Yeah, played in the NBA, coached in the NBA.
Got the connections.
Yeah. How you feel when Imani Bates just pump faked like that?
I knew that was happening. I wasn't. Yeah, dude. I've seen that way too much to get my hopes up on that. Honestly, I thought he was gonna reclassify and just declare it for the draft, and that's why I didn't really, I wasn't really counting on him.
Yeah.
But now that he's going to Memphis,
yep.
I'm sick about it, because it's like, why? Like, but they're the powerhouse that they're building there, though.
Yeah, they got some other guy like Jalen Duran or something.
Yes, sir. He is nice. Both of them boys nice.
I think I said this before, but I think he kind of might be on that like Jane what's his name, Wiseman, the Wiseman plan, where you don't really play. Like you go there and you play about 6 games.
Yep.
Preparing for the draft. I think that might be that's the move. Kind of you lower the 5-star in to get the bunch of 4 stars, and then you should and then.
What I also think with them, though, is like, the only reason why Wiseman played 6 games, they got in trouble for taking that money. And now, like, they got the NIL. So it could get real serious down in Memphis. They kind of got the, get that out the way. I even heard Jalen Rose say something along the lines of, you get Imani Bates down there, other dude down there, FedEx, like, headquarters is down there. Yeah. Get them a little deal, and kind of go from there with it. So, but shift gears here real quick. A little bit of time left. I want to have you talk about level up training. Kind of give us a spiel on that.
Yeah. Obviously, I've been coaching a little bit too. So it kind of just all worked all together for me. So coaching, still in love with the game of basketball. My buddy Ryan Shaw, who's I played against for many, many years, one of my best friends. He came to me with an idea. It was like, hey man, like thinking about starting up a company a basketball training company. I'm like, man, I'm with you. Like, I'm with you. I'm there. And then it just, the whole start of it has actually it was pretty cool. He came with the idea, level up basketball training. It's like level up, man. Like, it's just pretty simple name.
Yeah.
It's catchy. Logo is pretty cool. Like, it's the L with an up arrow and the U. Like, it's just, it's just pretty cool. So we actually started in a in a bar. It was during COVID, where we emptied out all the tables, and he bought a little rim, or a rim, on Facebook Marketplace, and we put it in the bar. We had high ceiling in the bar there, and then we started having our first clients there. So our year anniversary is actually November 8th, which is so it's coming on a year. So just to start from there, and now we're at 120 clients. We've worked with 25 to 30 different schools already, doing like kid programs, like helping these high schools actually build their middle school program, so that honestly they don't even have to do it. It's like it's there, you get training, and report right to the coaches and the school on how these kids are doing. So that's been pretty cool. We got about 100 or 800 people following us on like just social media right now. We worked with a couple of the top AAU programs in the area. So it's just, we've really been making a mark for ourselves. We're at six trainers now. So just for starting to me and Ryan, now it's like we're expanding, and each we're getting more and more clients. So that's been cool, man. We've worked with a ton of different talents, man. It's been fun.
Is it just for like, you know, kids in school? I need some help with my right hand. Can I like?
hey, anyone could come.
We'll get you in the work league. Get you training.
We can actually like work with like some college kids or guys who's trying to play overseas. They come and train with us now as well. So it's been cool, and like we go from the top to like very high talent to some low talent, you know, and it's pretty cool to see like the difficult workouts that we have versus watching the kids start at a small spot and then just growing and understanding and hitting that, like that light bulb clicks, and just like, oh, all right, this is why I would do this in this situation. Or I finally understand a drop cross. Like, very simple, but it's like, I got it. And, you know, and now they're working on it. And now they're showing all their friends. And then their friends are like, well, I want to learn that too. And they're going to their parents. And now it's like, cool, what they have here is special. And I think the group of guys that we work with at Level Up are all very passionate guys who care about it, who get in the drills and sweat with the kids, you know. And it's been cool. It's been cool to see that, and I kind of run the social media part of it, putting them all up on the pages and getting all that stuff set up. We moved to apparel, like just to watch us grow. It's been an awesome experience, and I applaud you know, our I guess our CEO of the strides that he's made, and his professional abilities and what he's done, and how much he really cares about the kids and all the trainers, and just giving back to the game that we all fell in love with. So it's been cool.
Okay, that's awesome, and I congratulate you for taking that leap, and you know, the entrepreneurial leap, and you know, just hearing you talk about it, I could tell you're passionate about it as well, and you have a flair for coaching the kids or you're teaching in general. I could tell, you know, you kind of have that fire in you, and so I know that's awesome. I imagine that you guys are great trainers, and so where do you guys have came this far in a year? How do you where do you see like your next year, and you know, ultimately where do you plan on taking this?
Right. So we've had a lot of people stay with us too, like the same people all year, like just been training on and on and on. So we're looking to grow more, potentially expand the area a little bit more, and actually dive into getting into like film even, right? So breaking down film for kids, just no one else is doing it, you know, like why not have them come in, send film for us? Hey, let's break it down. Let's sit down. Let's talk about it. Right. So even expanding that to that area. But yeah, obviously getting more trainers, because we are getting a little bit burnout. So we want to make sure that we have enough trainers to keep more kids from coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's awesome, man. Where can, like, if you want to reach out, to sign up, like, where can they do that at?
Yeah, so we have a page, Level Up Basketball Training LLC.com. So they could sign up there, reach out to us. We have a Facebook page, Instagram page. All that is at Level Up Basketball Training. So they just log in, send us a message to us, and we'll get back to them.
Awesome. Okay. I love it, man. I love it. Yeah, that was all we had today. Cam, I just really want to thank you, man, for coming on and chatting with us. One of our first guests. The guest series we're gonna start, kind of got the little train rolling here. Definitely appreciate you coming, chatting about Georgia Bulldogs, wishing them the best. Come to Michigan State. Go Blue. Season this year. So we'll definitely have to have you come back on down the road, maybe, mid-February, March, when it's time to, when that big dance kick off, to have you chat about how the season going.
I'm down. We might have to do what does Eli and Peyton do?
The podcast?
Yeah. Little lie.
I love that. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Coming on, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Till next time, guys.
Yes, sir.